If you look at the National Education Policy 2020, it has key principles, 8 key principles, in fact. One of them is the community participation. This means parents and schools work together to form students to be better citizens for the nation. Other than NEP, if you look at again Pope Francis's 7-point global compact on education, that also stresses the importance of family and their involvement in educational endeavors. These means that parental support, encouragement, and involvement for the process of growth of their wards, especially their wards schools, is a vital element for the success of schools. The extent to which school nurture positive relationships with families and vice versa makes all the difference. Students whose parents stay involved or engaged in the school have better attendance and behavior, get better marks, they are good at studies, demonstrates better social skills and better behaviors in the school. Involvement of parents also helps students to develop a lifelong learning, a lifelong love for learning, which is key to long-term success. I believe that parental behaviors are important for student achievement in their schools. Their involvement creates a home environment that encourages learning, communicating high yet reasonable expectations for achievement, and staying involved in a child's education at school. What's more, researchers say when this happens, the motivation, behavior, and academic performance of all children at a particular school improve. It helps students to feel good at home and in the school. Now, you may naturally ask me, what is parental involvement and how is it different from parental engagement? Parental involvement is the active, ongoing participation of a parent in the education of his or her child. Parents can demonstrate involvement at home by sometimes reading with the children, helping the children with homework, discussing with them about their school events, attending school functions, including parent-teacher meetings, and sometimes some parents volunteering to teach in the school or some other activities. While both parental involvement and parental engagement in school, they have important differences. They have important differences. Involvement is the first step towards engagement. It includes participation in school events or activities, with teachers providing learning resources and information about their students' grades. With involvement, teachers hold the primary responsibility to set educational goals for their students. But while teachers can offer advice, families have important information about their children that teachers may not know. So a student's learning experience is enriched when both bring their perspectives to the table. A greater collaboration with the parents and the school and the classroom will make your children better. That's about involvement. But with engagement, home and school come together as a team. Schools empower parents by providing them with ways to actively participate, promoting them as important voices in the school, and removing barriers to engagement. Examples include encouraging families to join the Family Teacher Association or arranging virtual family teacher meetings for families with transportation issues, etc. Many researchers have found that the earlier school teachers establish family engagement, the more effective they are in raising students' performance. That means the moment you admit a child in the school, you start your engagement with the school. That's called earlier engagement. Means as early as possible, you start your relationship and engagement with your child's school. What is it important? Why is it so important for us to involve parents in the schools? There is a Sanskrit sloka which says, education completes with four equal elements. And these are, first of all, teachers, second, student himself, third, third, parents, and fourth one is the course of time, the experience of the child. So the sloka goes this way. Acharyat padamadatte padam shishya somethaya padam sabrahmacharibhyah padam kalakramena cha. Acharyat padamadatte. 1/4 of education, that is 25% of education, comes from the teachers, acharyas. Padam shishya somethaya. That means equal responsibilities with the students. They themselves have to earn the 25%. Padam sabrahmacharibhya. Brahmacharibhya means somebody who sits with the children at home. Parents are the ones sits with the children. So 25% that teacher gives and 25% students gain is also 25% depending upon parents. And 25%, the last 25%, padam kalakramena cha. That means the course of time the student learns. So it is so important that parents also play a role in the education, holistic education of their children. Now, when you have a parent involved in the school, it benefits students. Children whose families are engaged in their education are more likely to earn better results in the examinations, develop self-confidence and motivation in the classroom, and have better social skills and classroom behavior. Seamlessly, they graduate from high school to college. Students whose parents are involved in school are also less likely to suffer from low self-esteem or develop behavioral issues. Self-esteem is the primary requirement for any child to learn something. If you do not love yourself, accept yourself, there is no confidence in yourself, you are not going to learn anything. That's why self-esteem has to be built up. It is the duty of the teachers as well as the parents. Classroom with engaged families proved to be perform better as a whole, meaning that the benefits affect virtually all students in a classroom. Parental involvement positively influences children's behavior, because the children will know that these parents and teachers have good relationship. School and parents are working tandem with each other, and the students will be aware of, indirectly they will be aware that parents are in touch with the school. So they will start behaving in a better way. Again, there were researches that made one thing clear. Parental involvement in education improves classroom attendance, social skills, and better behavior. It also helps the children to adapt to the school environment much better way. And parental involvement also benefits teachers. I'll tell you why. Because it improves classroom culture and conditions. Parent involvement also benefits teachers. Knowing more about a student helps teachers to prepare better, and knowing that they have parents' support ensures that teachers feel equipped to take academic risks and push for students to learn more. It's so important. For example, if a child has a chronic sickness or a particular way of behavior or any deficiency or anything, the parents are the persons who know better, and they have to communicate to the teacher so that the care of the children will be better. Jesuit education will say cura personalis. In the new education policy or national education policy 2020, there is a key element of the principles of education. It talks about accepting the uniqueness of each individual child. Accepting the uniqueness means the child's special behavior, child's talents, giftedness, and so on and so forth. And this will be known to the parents only. So the parents must tell to the teachers, these are the advantage and disadvantages of my child, and so that the teachers can cater to the needs of the child. See, our education today is not a one size fit for all education. It has to be catering to the needs of each individual child according to the uniqueness of each child. And that's why it benefits the teachers also if there is parental involvement in the schools. Now, you may ask then, how can parents get involved in their child's education? Of course, it's a genuine question, but remember there are several ways parents can get involved. For example, they can help their children making learning a priority in their homes, establishing routines for children and schedule for children that enable children to complete homework, read independently, get enough sleep, and have opportunities to get help from you. Talk about what's going on in your school. Now, every parent can take certain steps. First one is read to and with your children. Even 10 to 20 minutes daily makes a big difference to the lives of the children. And parents can go further by ensuring that they read more each day as well, either as a family or private reading time that sets a good example. And ask teachers how they would like to communicate. Parents must ask the teachers how are they going to communicate with the parents. Many are comfortable with the text messages or phone calls, and all teachers want parents to stay up to date, especially if problems arise. When I was principal of a school, we used to write dear parent letters. Every month, we used to write a letter to all the parents, and we'll send it through the children. Children will give to the parents, and parents will know about what is the upcoming programs, what is going on in the school, what's the new development, what are the changes that are happening, etc. About education, about academic, about the school's overall environment. We used to communicate with the parents, and parents were extremely happy. And third point parents can do is you can attend schools events, including parent-teacher conferences. Unfortunately, many schools, many people say that parents do not come to meet their teachers. Report card days, for example. There could be parent seminars, cultural and sports events, and others. Even if your child is not involved in that particular activity or a particular day, but it is good that parents come to the school to encourage the children. The fourth point is use your commute to connect with your students. When suppose you have vehicles, you are taking your child to the school, dropping him. On the way, ask the children to read something what was happening in the classrooms if it's a small children. So always a study atmosphere you can create. And at home, eat meals together. It's a perfect opportunity to find out more about what is going on in schools. They will explain freely on the dining table. If you ask them what happened today in the school, what's happening in the school, etc., they will tell you everything very freely and open. And finally, prioritize communication with the teachers, especially if demanding work schedules, cultural or language barriers are an issue, etc. Find out what resources are available to help get parents involved. I'm sure that your what you call diary, school has diaries, and the diaries and so on must be written, and parents must be looking at that. Now, parental involvement outside of the classroom also is important. Outside of the classroom, engaged parents more often see themselves as ambassadors for their school, their child's schools, and are more likely to volunteer or take an active role in the affairs of the school. Today it's very sad to see many parents come to the schools only to create problems. Parents simply accuse the school with no reverence or respect for the schools and the teachers. And that is why the children also slowly and steadily losing the respect and love for the schools. Remember, every school is a second home for your children. Therefore, we don't do abuses in the school, in our homes. Similarly, abuses should not be in our schools too. Parent involvement in school affairs, for instance, helps parents understand educators and their parents' motivations, attitudes, and abilities. That is why a constant engagement with teachers are very important for you to know the abilities of the teachers, the talents, the giftedness, the new areas the schools involved, etc. It gives them a better opportunity to serve as resources for their children, often increasing their own skills and confidence. In a few cases, these parents actually further their own education and upgrade their job while being in touch with the schools. While providing improved role models for their children, these parents also ensure that the larger community views the school positively and supports it. If parents sending their children to the school, and that school, if they respect, the entire society, outside world also will have a better idea about the school, and they will also have a reverence and respect for the school. Otherwise, school is like any other marketplace. So therefore, parents must be role models to their children. Parents also must involve in juvenile justice. Parents finding themselves involved in the juvenile justice system on behalf of their kids face a system that offers many challenges and few resources. But parents whose children face judicial system can make a difference. Surveys of corrections officials note that family involvement is one of the most important issues facing the juvenile system, and it is also the most operationally challenging. Now, what successful parental involvement looks like? A very few points. These parents at school creates a better environment for the entire school. For example, parenting skills are promoted and supported by the school also. Schools engage in regular two-way meaningful communication with the parents. Parents play an integral role in assisting student learning. Parents are welcome in the school as volunteers, and their support and assistance are sought. Parents are full partners in the decision that affects the children and their families. Community resources are used to strengthen schools, families, and student learning. And these parents can take a lot of initiative to do this. Now, how to avoid a negative parental involvement? This is also a big issue because today we hear every now and then that parents are barging into the school, creating havoc in the school. And sometimes the other day I saw one video that a teacher, somebody came into the school, went to the office, and headmaster was shot down. It's so bad, so sad. And therefore, how to avoid negative parental involvement is also we can look at. Teachers may, on occasion, complain of helicopter parents whose involvement, sometimes called hovering, does more harm than good. One veteran educator recently told the story of an award winning colleague who quit the profession because of the growing influence of a group of usually well intentioned but over involved, overprotective, and controlling parents who hobble rob their children. So parents, suppose they are also overprotective, they are only taking side of the children, even if it is wrong, is a very bad involvement. What these parents fail to understand is that their good intentions often backfire, impeding their children's coping skills and capacity to problem solve. Such over involvement can actually increase children's anxiety and reduce self esteem. Therefore, it's so important to have parental involvement in the school in a positive way, not negative. Positive involvement of parents in the school and their engagement in the school definitely help their children to grow and achieve greater success in their future. And I urge parents in India, engage, involve in the schools in a very positive way, because schools are for your children, for your children's second home, to grow as mature citizens for the nation and of the world. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.